are you all doing out there? And yes, we're back here in the hot seat yet again. As I say, we are sweet minds and we deal with matters of the heart, matters of emotion, and matters of life in general and how we can be our best selves and live our best lives. So today we're asking, are you, me, dependent on others for our own success? Now, what does dependency mean? Dependency means that we rely or place our trust in others to get a specific job done or in something in order to function in life. For example, someone might not be able to function without a coffee first thing in the morning when they get out of bed. They need that coffee just to get them going. That's kind of a form of dependency there. Same likewise with people, we need a job done and us waiting on someone in order to get the job done. Now, in some cases, dependency, it can be quite dilapidating, especially in cases of probably drug use, for instance, being dependent on that substance to function in life. But here we're talking about dependency on others for our own success. So I've got a few little pointers here just to things that we can look at and how we can be dependent, not on others, but just on ourselves in order to reach a goal, to set a standard and to make it in life. The first thing when it comes to dependency is relying on others. Now, relying on others, it's not going to get us anywhere. I had someone say to me this week, oh, I needed to do a specific job, but such and such hasn't come, so I can't get it done. Now, what we've got to realise is that most people are busy going about achieving their goals, getting on with their lives, and we are not the first person on their list. The first person on their list to get their things done is themselves. And likewise with us, being dependent on someone can hold us back from achieving the goals that we've actually set out to do. Just think of it in this way, that we can always research for ourselves. Now, the world is a much bigger place, so we don't have to necessarily rely on other people to get the job done. We can always YouTube, journals online, articles online. There's so much that we can tap into that will help us not be dependent on someone to reach a specific goal. And if it is, we'll go on to see what we can do in that case if we do have to be kind of reliant on someone to help us do something. The next thing is looking at your gifts. So what is it that you're trying to achieve? And how far can you go on your own in order to achieve it? So look at your gifts and how they can help you to get as far as you possibly can. And like I was going to say, as regards to some things we can manage on our own, and the other things we'll employ someone else to do it for us. And then again, we're not dependent on someone to come and help us with the job, but we're employing someone to get the job done. But remember, we're looking at being dependent on others for reaching or being successful. And that whole point of dependency, waiting and relying on something to help us get through, we've got to look at it in a way that we can help ourselves and then bring on the other people afterwards that can help us with the jobs that we possibly don't have expertise in. The next thing is setting limitations for ourselves. So do we set limitations and say, well, I can't do such and such. Can't means I won't, and won't means you don't. And that is the point, isn't it? If we set limitations for ourselves, then, like I said, it's going to be unachievable. But nothing is unachievable, you see. Do you remember that David and Goliath? That Goliath was this big giant and David was but a mere boy. And he said, I'm going to go and I'm going to defeat this guy, this person that keeps calling down bad things on my Lord. And so David, they tried to give him a sword and a helmet and a shield. They were too big for him. He couldn't handle it. He said, you know what, I don't need these things because God is on my side, right? So what he done, he went and got a couple of smooth stones, little stones, and then he went and defeated Goliath in one, straight into the Goliath's head, and he died. So our goals, maybe our dreams, we might have them as Goliaths, but do we say, do you know what, I'm going to tackle them one at a time. I'm not going to set no limitations on myself. I'm not going to put anything or make anything be in the way of what I set out to do. And then we go, those stones are like the little goals or the things that we want to achieve in order to accomplish the task that we've set out, that reaching that successful point. And that's really what it is. Are we a David? And our Goliath as the limitations that we generally place on ourselves. When we say or become dependent on someone to get our job done, then that means that we've set a limitation because, like I said, people are busy doing their own thing, that we're not the first thing that they or person that they think about to get something done because they're busy about their own business. So really, the main thing to recognise is that we are all the keys to our own success. All right? And just remembering that if you're the key to your success, how are you going to press forward and elevate and reach those goals that you set out? Do you set goals? Do you make plans? So you're the key to your success. So are we putting things in place in order to not be dependent on others for our own success, but really reaching out and making progress forward? And like I said, if there are things, there will be things that we won't be able to do. However, we can employ others to do it for us, but we need to be making those inroads first and not relying on someone. If someone says, oh, I'm going to come at 2:00 tomorrow and do a job that you may be able to do, and they don't come at 2, are you going to blame that person or find a way to get it done? You're going to find a way to get it done. That's really if we have that vested interest and we want to make those inroads. All right, so don't set limitations on ourselves. All right, those Goliaths, we're going to get Goliath out of the way. We're not going to set those limitations, as well as not being dependent on others for things that we can actually research and do for ourselves, not relying on others, and also looking at your gift, looking at our gifts and how they can help us along as far as we can possibly go, and employing others if it's something that we don't have expertise in, but we're employing them. They're being paid for a job, and if someone's being paid for a job, of course, they're going to come and do the job for us. Whereas if we're relying on others and we're expecting a free ride, they're busy doing what they've got to do. So primary for themselves, they're number one. And we should put ourselves in that same bracket as number one, working on our goals to reach our destination. So like I say, if you like this video, please click that link below, ding dong, hit that notification bell, and I'll see y'all on the other side. Take care.